What is up, gamers? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about the recent staleness that Fortnite has been in, and the reasons why. Before we get into this, like and subscribe, follow the social, and join the Discord. Those are in the description down below, and yeah, let's get into it. Now, to start off, we got a pretty obvious one, which is the loot pool. We do have a pretty good variety of weapons within the game right now. But I don't think we have enough fun items. I think that's one of the main problems with the loot pool, is we don't have many guns or items that we can truly mess around with or meme with or make videos about, really. When we have fun items like the flintlock or even that inflatable that we had Chapter 2 Season 7, those are fun items that you can kind of mess around with. Although they are in creative and whatnot, it's not really as fun because it's not in Battle Royale, which is where the fun really truly lies. Also, within the loot pool itself is something we've had for nearly 2 years, which is the spray meta. We've had the spray meta since the start of Chapter 3, when we had the Stinger SMG, and then eventually the MK7, and that came back every once in a while. We had the drum shotgun, which is also back this season. We've had the combat shotgun. Every season we've had a spammy shotgun, but regardless, we have always had this spray meta for 2 years now, and I think that adds to the staleness that we feel, because there hasn't been many meta changes. Sure, we've had the occasional gun mix it up, but it's maybe been in for one season, and that doesn't really help, when there's not much difference or variety. Now, while we're on the topic of the spray meta and the loot pool itself, did anybody actually ask for the drum shotgun to come back at all? I don't know anybody that actually enjoys the drum shotgun. I mean, if you enjoy the drum shotgun, go off, but I'd personally not like to die within 5 seconds because there's a shotgun that can hit decently, but it spams. The spray is not really a shotgun thing in my mind. When I think of a shotgun, I don't think of a spammy gun. When I think of spammy guns, I think of SMGs. Now, our second one is the one really big one, events. We haven't seen an event for some reason since the Fracture event, which was easily one of the worst events, if not the worst event of all of Fortnite. It just was not good. We all know this at this point. The Fracture event was not good, but that means we didn't have a good event since the Collision event, which was, over a year ago now. This also ties in with the seasonal events. Epic has really dropped off the quality of our seasonal events. I'm talking the summer event. I mean, this season, everybody knows it was dog shit. Last year's was better, but still really bad. The winter ones are still okay, but they're not up to the same standard that we've had before. And the same thing goes for the Halloween event. They're not up to the same standards we've had previously. This also, once again, another tie-in is the concerts. We've started it off, of course, with Marshmello, and then we had Travis Scott, we had Ariana Grande, and that was really our last one at all for multiple seasons. And if we had any others, it was made in creative, like the Kid Leroy's concert was in creative, but that's not really as fun as the other concerts, because with this one you have a choice, and most people probably won't choose to go separately into a creative map just to play an event, when the other events are taking over the BR, rather than having it be a separate thing. Imagine if we had, the Collision event or something, be a separate creative map, while everyone else can play BR, and then when the event is over, BR just shuts down. That doesn't make any sense, right? same goes with the concerts. We used to have concerts that would basically replace the BR until it was over, and that was a lot more fun because if someone wanted to play BR, they either played the concert or they just turned off the game. So it was a lot better, and also it was bigger names and all of that. So I think that definitely plays into the staleness with no real fun concerts or anything. Now, something that's also similar to events is LTMs. Limited time modes. These are modes that are, of course, limited, so you only have a small amount of time before they go away. And honestly, we haven't had anything other than solid gold since maybe Unvaulted in Chapter 3 Season 2, I believe, was the last time we had anything other than solid gold. And now we don't even have anything. We don't even have a single LTM right now. When we've had so many LTMs before, there was, the sniper shootout, there was, solid gold, I guess, there's Unvaulted, there's Blitz, there's so many of these LTMs that they could just pop in, but they don't, and that also just, it's been a complaint, it's been a constant complaint from the community about the lack of LTMs, and honestly, I agree, it's something that should be in the game. Now, a big thing that plays into the actual events and whatnot is the storyline, and that storyline is kind of gone. Like, we really haven't had anything since the Fracture, actually, I'll say since maybe Chapter 4 Season 1, where we had hints of a storyline of some kind, but we really didn't get much. After that season ended, we didn't really get anything. We haven't had any main storyline quests or anything since then, which is really unfortunate because that's something that a lot of people do enjoy, like myself. I really enjoy the storyline. I really enjoy learning about the storyline, but we really haven't had any new content for like 3 seasons. So that's literally almost a year we've had basically nothing, which really sucks, especially for any YouTubers who had previously been primarily a storyline Fortnite YouTuber. Now, moving on, our next point is battle passes, collabs, and cosmetics. Now, it's no secret, Epic does a lot of collabs. Way over 50% of the total cosmetics in the game are collab of some kind. It's a pretty obvious thing at this point, and it's really disappointing to see, especially when the battle pass, we haven't had a battle pass that hasn't had a collab in it in some way, whether it's the quote-unquote secret skin, even though we already know what it is, or it's in the battle pass, like tier 100 or whatever. We haven't had one like without that since Chapter 2. Like early Chapter 2. So we've had collabs in the battle pass for like 4 years now, which is insane to think about, but also kind of adds to staleness because anything that Fortnite puts out that isn't collabs are kind of disappointing, if you will, because they're not really as prioritized as the collabs are right now, which is unfortunate because some of the early skins, I'm talking Chapter 1, those are some of the best skins, the coolest skins. Even Chapter 2 I would go as far to say. Some of the best skins come from that era, but nowadays they're not really as good. There is the occasional one that they push out that are like mediocre, I guess, at best. The next point is, of course, Fortnite Creative. And despite the launch of UEFN, or Fortnite Creative 2.0, it's just not really doing that good. Apart from the occasional top tier creative map like Operation Sandstorm that I've played myself, that's a really fun game. It's enjoyable, right? But not many maps are like that. There's a lot of copy and paste, skibbity toilet. And I even did a YouTube short recently showing off spinning chip, and that's using UEFN. Like, this is the type of content people are pushing out, and it's unfortunate because, you know, creative's kind of been ruined by the copy and paste formulas, and that means creative itself gets stale, which is really weird because, you know, it's supposed to be a creative mode, and it's ironic because nobody's really truly being creative. Now, another mode, you could say, is competitive. Competitive is a little stale. They kind of ruined competitive even with ranked. People really didn't like ranked. I've seen people liked arena more, and, you know, all that. I personally was excited for the ranked mode. I didn't really like the system that arena had. I like the ranked where it's you know, silver and gold and platinum and whatnot. I like those types of ranked a little better. It makes it a little bit more clear, but it's just not, I don't think it feels as good anymore because there's been less tourneys, I feel, unless big tourneys that have been promoted, like the World Cup. We haven't had that since before COVID. We haven't had really any in-person tournaments that much, which really just adds to some staleness. And on top of that, it does make it worse that they took out Siphon, and on top of that, the loot pool itself is changed from casual. So if you're someone wanting to switch over to competitive from casual, you might not play as good because of some items and some things being taken out for the sake of competitiveness. Now, the last point for general staleness is the Fortnite content on YouTube and Twitch and all of that. It's pretty much just 95% the big creators, you know, the 10 to 20 big creators like Cypher PK and Nick A30 and whatnot. Those are the big creators that are really at the head of the Fortnite content, but a lot of their content is just copy and paste, and it's not really, it doesn't feel as creative, it doesn't feel as exciting as it may have just even a couple years ago. Even at the launch of Chapter 3, that was a really exciting time for sure. And a lot of this can be chalked up to the previous points where, you know, all these different factors mean that, you know, creators can't make content around the fun things of Fortnite if there's no fun things and if the Fortnite game itself is stale. And on top of that, there hasn't been many new creators. So, you know, even someone like myself, I've been making Fortnite content for, like 2 years, almost 3 years now, and I haven't really blown up at all, but there has been some people who've kind of blown up, you know. There's some people who have gotten a decent amount of subscribers, but it's just not as often as it definitely did in Chapter 1. It's not really as creative, the people who do blow up, and, you know, it comes to a point where it's like, well, if these are stale, why not just go back to Save the World, which is honestly something I feel like people may have done. I mean, Save the World is still reliably fun. You know, it's PvE, you can play with people, you can upgrade, it's really fun, but it's just not as, I don't think it has that player base like BR has or had, or even Creative has right now. It's all a kind of unfortunate thing because Fortnite has been a huge thing for a few years now, and it kind of sucks that, you know, it's not really as it used to be. But I think that's gonna be it for today. That's all my points that I could come up with. If you have any other points, or if you have an ideas on adding to my points, leave a comment down below. And if you do like the video itself, then like and subscribe, follow the socials, and join the Discord. And those are in the description down below. And I'll see you guys in the next video.